What if I told you your Spring Boot application could process 1 million records in just a matter of few seconds? Now in this video, we are going to talk about the real world performance challenge when you are processing 10 lakhs or 1 million customer records in Java using Spring Boot. First, we'll walk you through the basic implementation, just like the for loop and with one thread. Then we are going to turn up the heat. We'll optimize it using the Java Executor framework and the multi-threading to massively reduce the processing time. Whether you are processing the customer data or logs or any large data sets, this is how you are going to scale it up. By end of this video, you will know exactly how to build an high performance multi-threaded Spring Boot application that eat up through the data like a beast. So let's dive in and process a million records like has got nothing and in no time. At the website, the Spring Initializer, I have taken the Java as a platform language and the Maven as a project build type. Now we already discussed this. We have to always select the latest version and the stable version. So make sure you select which is compatible with the Maven and the Java and the version what you are going to select over here. Make sure you are selecting the packaging as a jar as of now. And in this particular thing, what we will do is that we will uh, give the artifacts and the group ID, and then we'll create a processor project for it. So let's, in this particular dependencies, we are going to add up is Web1, the Lombok, and the Spring Boot Dev Tools. So once you add this particular dependency, go and generate this. We'll open this particular project in the IntelliJ. Once you open this particular project in the IntelliJ, after you download it, open the pom.xml, just cross-check the web dependencies, the dev tools, and the Lombok. If these are present, I think that's what the required thing. Now, if you open this particular thing in the Java platform, right, you will see there are some different classes which I have already written for you to explain. I will go through, make you walk through all of them. So here, if you see, I've created a customer class over here. I have written ID, email ID, and the name of that. And then I've written a couple of methods like toString, the constructor, equals, and a hash code method. Okay, and their getter setters. Okay, so this is the model data, which the customer data, which we are going to receive it. Then comes the service. Okay, so what I've done is that I've written a customer service class over here. What I'm going to do over here is that I'm going to add some customer. So here there will be a count which I'm going to pass it, and then let's say I can pass 1 million records over here or the count over here. What will happen is that this particular thing will process and add the 1 million records for the customer over here. Okay, in the memory. So it will create this for you. So this is the data what is we require. Okay. Now let's go to the main application. Now if you look at this, I am going to invoke the customer services and the data processor over here. Okay. So just for now, ignore this particular thing. Okay. Now if you look at this particular thing, right, I'll just comment it for now. Now if you open this particular class, the data processor, right, now if you see, this is the version what we are firstly talking about, and the one which is going to be the single threaded and the basic version what we talked about. We'll definitely look at the improved version, but first I wanted to show you how the basic version will look like and what is the code around it. So we have written two methods. One is processing and one is transforming. So whatever input we have taken, like the customer is the inputs, right? So we have 1 million customers over here, and then what we'll do is that we'll start off with like the current timestamp, and then we'll try to for loop it, and then for each customer by customer it is going to transform this. So it will be calling 1 million time this particular thing. Okay, and then this particular each customer will come here, it will marks over here, will set the customer and the customer name, and then it will be done. Okay, and it will be added, right? So this is what we are going to transform it. Okay, so let's see how and how much time it is going to take it. Okay, so what I will do, I will go to the main application, that is the processor. Now if you see here, as I already told, there is a customer service, we have auto wired over here, we have a data processor over here, and then we have in the main class we are taken the variable where, as I told, that this is the data which we are going to generate. So now you see 1 million record, that is 10 lakhs, and then we are calling the process method over here. Now, if you see the process method internally, it is going to call the transform method, right? So it is ultimately going to call over here. So let's run and see how this particular application is going to perform without the improved version, that is the basic version when we see. Okay. Now, if you look at this, the application is started, and if you see, it is the time taken is 2088 milliseconds. Now, if you see, this is quite a time to record this particular thing. Now we'll look at the improved version as well. Now, at the parallel, I've written this particular data processor I version just to save the time so that you get the crisp knowledge. What I've done here is that I have written the similar version to what the data processor it was written, but I've written in the improved version. So now here actually I'm going to make use of the executor framework and the multi-threading concept over here. Now if you compare it with the previous application, right? The application whatever here we have not made use of any threading concept, neither the main thread is going to process this, right? So only single thread is going to take that particular and process it, right? Now here if you compare it with it, now I've taken 20 threads over here. What I have done, the count, simultaneously, this is going to process 20 threads at a time. Now, uh, how do we enable the multi-threading is that we have an executor services which is introduced in Java 5, and then we have a provision where we can actually tell this many threads I want to the threads to perform the activity. Now here if you see this thread executor framework, there is a new fixed pool thread pool which is going to take the input as the thread count. Now the meaning of this is that there will be parallelly 20 threads working on your task. Now, after this, what I'm going to do is that I'm going to take a callable list of this particular task. Now I'm going to take a for loop. I will assign this particular thread count. Okay, so thread count is 20. What it will do, it will index the chunk out, and then it will take from the size. It will take this particular chunk size. Okay, from index to the side dash index, then it will take the sublist of that. Okay, and it is going to sublist, and then it is going to perform this particular for loop, the transformation process, okay, from this particular sublist. So this how like the logic is written. Now the logic under this particular transform is exactly similar what we had written over here. Okay. Now under this, if you see, there is another code of snippet written over here, which is while we are trying to invoke all this, right? So this is going to catch some exception if there is an exception, and then after this particular thing, finally I'm going to shut down. So it will not accept any thread. So the meaning of this particular shutdown is that it is not going to accept any further task about after this. Okay. So that's the overall, code changes what we have done as an improved version. So make sure you are writing this particular code and understanding and making the multi-threading capabilities enable in your project wherever you are using, right? So if you go to the main class, I had commented out this. Okay. So what I will do, I will run this particular application again. Now I will. Now if you look at this, we'll just compare the application got started now. Okay, if you see it is started. Now if you see, take a look at this, it is taken 2030 for the previous version, the old version. But if you take this time, the one with the multi-threading, if you see here, it is 472. So that means it is 4 times less it is taking, right? So if it is 100, right, it is taking only 25% of that particular thing timing. So that is the benefit of making use of the multi-threading and the executor framework. I hope you got the concept of what exactly the changes you need to do in order to convert your single threaded application to the multi-threading application with enabling the executor framework and making the benefit of it, right? So make sure you're using this particular thread new tool so that the number of threads based on your application core it is going to enable and execute it. If this video was very helpful to you, please share it with the people, needy people. I would request you to please subscribe, hit the bell icon, and also share it with the needy people. Thank you for watching.